Kaji has been forced to relinquish the Progress Women's Championship. Joe Lando is set to debut for Rev Pro tonight. Will Ospreay return to NJPW Resurgence? Jamie Hayter has signed with AEW. Wrestle Carnival will stream on IWTV. We'll talk about the Pete Dunne contract and the situation behind that. We got recaps of Rev Pro live at the Cockpit 52, live at Southampton 13, Progress Chapter 117, NXT UK, the latest ICW Fight Club, and more on this Brit Wres roundup. Hello, everyone. We are Tea and Tights, a Great British Wrestling podcast for Great British Wrestling, as featured on bodyslam.net. I am your host, the Great British Attack, with Mr. Andrew Moore, Andy to most, and I am joined as always by my co-host. He is the pro wrestling t-shirt champion of the world. He is Big Daddy Dan, Mr. Daniel Allen. How are you today?
I am, as always, absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Andy. And I am really excited that everyone can see us. They can see how fantastic and wonderful we are. And I feel a little bit humble because you have got an amazing T-shirt on today.
I do. It's just this. It says, what is it? Tea and Tights, a Great British Wrestling podcast at Tea and Tights Pod. Go check us out. Of course, yes, this is a very, very special episode. This marks actually our 31st Brit Wres Roundup.
Blimey.
But also our first appearance on the bodyslam.net YouTube channel. So hit that like, hit that subscribe button, join us and find out all about British wrestling news. It also marks our first episode since we joined the Johners podcasting network in the UK that features wrestling podcasts from around the world, and we're honored to join them and to learn from them. It's just
thank you for having us, guys.
Isn't it?
Yeah. And then we also had a rather special video that we released this week that came exclusively to you, I believe, Andy.
Yes, an anonymous video. I don't know who sent it to me. Just came through in my email address. There it was. Giselle Shaw outside her house with the brothers Zoro, might add. Joey and Scott, friends of the show, been on it. How you doing, lads? And they questioned whether she was scared of the upcoming match, to which she replied in, dignified terms, of course not. She is the quintessential diva. And you can check that out on our Twitter. You can check that out on bodyslam.net exclusive. As I say, anonymous. I do know that at this moment, there is no news with progress with regards to live shows at the moment. But when they are up and running, drum roll, please. We will be invited down as media to Progress Wrestling shows in the future, and we cannot wait. We are looking forward to that. Progress Wrestling, of course, is one of the biggest wrestling promotions in the UK, and that's just fantastic. And it's all down to the work with bodyslam.net, the work that Cassidy Hayes is doing right now. So just awesome all around, really.
It is indeed. Thank you, Cassidy. We really appreciate it. And thank you to our anonymous supplier of fantastic videos.
Yeah, indeed. Drop us. If you get any more of those, feel free to drop it over to us. We are happy to drop it on our Twitter. We are happy to write up the exclusive for bodyslam.net. But you know what?
Well, actually, I do know something. We've had another exclusive that came out last week, which has had some pickup from national media.
It did, didn't it? Adam Maxted interview. Wow. Yourself, Big Daddy Dan, I'll let you talk about it for a little while.
We interviewed Adam Maxted, and it was a really great interview. He's a lovely, lovely guy. My wife thought he was really, really lovely. And he explained to us why he is not with WWE, even though there were many reports, including from Dave Meltzer, that he'd signed on to NXT. And if you listen, you'll find out why, unfortunately, he hasn't. And that even includes with Shawn Michaels and Matt Bloom wanting him to be signed up, and yet he's still not. Find out why by listening to our interview with Adam Maxted.
And the master of the dropkick. He is a fantastic. He's got some fantastic drop kicks and just an array, just springboard drop kicks off the top rope.
In the Sun, in the Metro, all over the place.
Indeed, the Belfast Telegraph picked it up as well. I mean, it's just so many people, and of course, let's not forget one of the reasons behind what he told us was about the fact of what sensational journalism can do and the harm it can cause. And what happened? Well, a few unreputable websites ran with sensational headlines.
So we had to call them out on that.
Indeed.
Being a bit douchey.
Exactly. Something we really do try not to do. And anytime we poke fun at people, it's all in the name of fun. It's just trying to have jokes. But actually, before we go on to results, we have just joined the Jonas Podcasting Network. Of course, we are now live. Well, not live, but on bodyslam.net's YouTube. Most of these guys probably don't have a clue who we are, why I'm the Great British Attacker, why you are Big Daddy Dan, and more. So just quick introductions. Of course, my name is Andy to most. I am the Great British Attacker because outside of my work with bodyslam.net, I run and operate Kuru Collections, which is an online anime and manga store, as well as Kuru Media, which tries to keep up with the latest news from the anime and manga world. So that's where the Great British Otaku comes from. Otaku is basically just a Japanese geek, which I am. Well, I'm not a Japanese geek, but I'm a geek for the Japanese culture, the anime, the manga, and that sort of thing. The wrestling as well. But of course, here we talk about British wrestling. Over to you, Dan.
And I had the name of Big Daddy Dan given to me because between my wife and I, we have 7 children, hence the daddy part. The big part is because I'm 6'3" and unfortunately not built like a wrestler, built unless it's Big Daddy, I guess. So hence probably where the Big Daddy Dan came from again. I am a local councillor for my area that I live in, and I have been a massive wrestling fan since I was around about 10 years old.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching World of Sport with my granddad. So at that time, I must have been like 4 or 5. I remember sitting on his knee, watching the wrestling. Anytime we went to visit, it was my mum's dad. My mum was a big fan of Mick McManus. So she loved the villain.
Do you remember Squareals? When satellite TV first came to England, you either had a round satellite dish because you got Sky, or you had a square satellite dish because you got BSB, British Satellite Broadcasting.
No, we had the Sky one.
Yeah, we didn't.
No. And that's where I learned about the American wrestling. Yeah, the WWE, the WWF. Once I turned 10, 12, my first show I ever watched was Survivor Series 1990.
I remember it well.
Brilliant show. But again, we're not here to talk about that. We are here to talk about British wrestling. And of course, let's just jump into some results. I think we're just going to kick the show off, talk about NXT UK, Rev Pro live at Not The Cockpit, 52, Rev Pro live in Southampton, 13, Progress Chapter 117, and ICW Fight Club. Let's kick off with some NXT UK, where Wolfgang defeated Flash Morgan Webster. Give us your thoughts.
My thought on Wolfgang versus Webster was it was actually a really, really good match. I was feeling a little bit questioning about whether Flash Morgan Webster could stand up to the sheer size and dominance of Wolfie, but he did well. I thought it was a good match, and Wolfgang won it with a huge spear. Yeah,
that was a spear and a half to just literally almost smash Flash Morgan Webster in half. As you say, Flash did a good job fighting from underneath. He tried to irritate Wolfgang. Wolfgang, known for his hot temper. But as you say, it was a good match. Sid Scala, then we had backstage. He announced that Joe Coffey and Rampage will square off in 2 weeks' time in a submission match. A submission or knockout match. What do you think of that?
I wish that both of them would have a practice on Sid Scala.
Yeah, why not? That would be good. But it's just this. So this is what they're going to be technically the fourth time they've actually met in the ring. I do like the stipulation, the submission or KO match. What do you think?
I think it's a good submissions wrestler, but I don't really see Rampage as a submissions wrestler. So I'll be interested to see. I think it's just going to have a stand-up, knockdown fight.
Yeah, I mean, Coffee does go for the Boston Crab on the occasion, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But after that, we had Isla Dawn as she freaked out Danny Jordan and Mark Andrews as they're talking about Flash Morgan Webster's loss. The subculture, or as we like to call them, the sub club, got freaked out by Isla Dawn. What did you think?
I think they need to just have a match and not do this kind of rubbish to promote a match that's not got any kind of background to it.
Yeah, Isla Dawn's. I'm not. I like Isla Dawn. I like the witch gimmick, but not this far into it.
I like her when she wrestles.
I like her when she wrestles more, of course, but and when she doesn't do impressions of Damien Demento like she did against Millie McKenzie.
God, that was awful. Right, Mustache Mountain. Then we're talking down Pretty Deadly.
Yeah, it was a promo, I guess.
At least he didn't have the nunchucks around his neck.
He didn't. He was massaging his jaw.
Yes, let's call it that.
Yeah, and it was just kind of strange. And to be honest, the Pretty Deadly promo that came later in the show was the stronger promo.
Yes, it was.
We had then Sid Scala telling Jenny that she will face Aoife Valkyrie in a no DQ match in 2 weeks' time, and Joseph Connors will be locked in a shark/bird cage.
Oh, goody! At least it's a chance to advertise the toy again.
Oh, of course, yeah, but I mean, Aoife, yeah, she's a bit obsessed with birds, isn't she? So apparently, Jenny,
whoever's right,
yeah,
obsessed with birds. But then finally, we actually had a match.
Yeah, it took a while to get to the next match, and it was Amel versus Nina Samuels. Oh, Nina Samuels lost. I was a bit disappointed.
It is a bit disappointing. I like Nina Samuels, but she definitely lost in this match. Amel was all over her. She kept on top of her pretty much the entire way through the match and won with the heartbreaker right in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, Mel's looking strong. I do like the spine buster. I like Nina Samuels. I also think that Amel and Nina Samuels as a team would be really good.
I can see that.
I can see a nice little kind of like an Iconics thing going between the two of them.
Yeah, no, I think they disagreed too much for that.
Possibly. Dragunov talked about his match with Walter in subpar. I mean, I know it's not his first language, but it wasn't a great promo, was it?
I've seen better, and I've seen better from him.
Yeah.
I don't care because in 7 days' time we get to watch Dragunov versus Walter.
Is it 7 days' time? Oh wow, yeah. That is just going to be, and this time, of course, the world gets to see it's going to be on Takeover. You think that so many people may have missed it the first time round because it was on NXT UK. And, you know, while we're on it, you know, go check out the Walter versus A-Kid match as well for the NXT UK title. That was a brilliant, brilliant match.
And while we're just saying that, go and check out this week's NXT and see Pete Dunne versus Ilya Dragunov, because that, for me, has been the match of the year so far.
You'll get you to talk about that when we talk about Pete Dunne in just a little while. Next up, Mako Satomura did a promo on Stevie Turner. She's going to be facing her for the Women's Championship in 2 weeks' time. There's a lot of stuff happening in 2 weeks' time.
There is. Including, I believe, is the Pretty Deadly versus Mustache Mountain in 2 weeks, or is that next week?
I think that was, no, I've got it down as next week.
You got it down as next week. Okay. Well, Pretty Deadly did their response to Mustache Mountain, and it was much better, and they were dressed much better. I know
Yes.
we're going to talk about what they're wearing, so we will do this time. They're both in blazers. Yes, they were loud blazers, but you know what? It looked a goddamn better than their dungarees.
Yeah, we've talked about Pretty Deadly's fashion sense for quite some time. I believe the fashion police, old Tyler Breeze and Breezango, would have a few things to say about their outfits. But yeah, this time I guess, well, I mean, I'd say it was still a bit, but it was better. And next was that incredible main event, Noam Dar, Mark Andrews, the first of the NXT UK Heritage Tournament, this time to become the number one contender. Noam Dar's Mark Andrews, 2 falls to 1. Again, give me your thoughts.
Well, my choice for the entire tournament is Noam Dar. And so I wasn't surprised to see him win this at all. Beautiful, fast-paced match, lots of flippiness from Mark Andrews, and Noam Dar. I think he was sort of going through his ICW phase here. He was striking a lot harder than he has done, which was great as far as I was concerned. Anything that kept him off that bloody sofa.
Yeah.
Noam Dar caught a Pele into an ankle lock, which was a brilliant maneuver. That first fall.
Loved it. Yeah, that first fall was absolutely brilliant. As you say, the Pele kick into what's it, the supernova knee bar. He'd been working on the leg throughout at the start, and just a great way to get the first pin of the match.
Yeah. Round 4, we had a roll up from Andrews.
Yeah, he had to give him his win back, 1 fall back. They love to make him 2-1. They rarely ever finish anything other than 2-1.
Most devastating move in all of sports and entertainment.
Of course, death by roll up.
And then Noam Dar won it with a stunning kick to the face in round 5.
The supernova roller, yeah, that was beautiful. Again, enjoyed watching Mark Andrews getting kicked like that. Honestly, did. But yeah, I just Noam Dar. That was the best Noam Dar heritage match he's had. Mark Andrews really helped bring it out. I thought the Teo man coming out with Rohan Raja, and that was interesting. What do you think this is? I think I've got my new theory now. I think it's gonna be a turn. Dar's turning face.
Dar's turning face.
Dar is turning face.
Oh God, that's possible. But seeing as I've picked him to win the overall tournament, yeah, I'll go with it.
Yeah, well, I've got Taylor Man, who I think is going to be the person to meet him in the final and beat him in the final, of course. But my theory working here is Oliver Carter's in the same bracket as Noam Dar. So if Oliver Carter wins, he's one that faces Noam Dar in the semi-finals.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Dar will beat him, and Taylor Man will collect him backstage. You won't know about it. It'll happen backstage because when it gets to the final, Oliver Carr will come out and screw Noam Dar, and Taylor Man and his faction will reign supreme, and then he'll go on to beat Tyler Bate.
Tyler Bate.
What do you think of that?
I've heard worse ideas. What would you give overall? How many sugars in your tea to NXT UK this week?
Of course, we do not give out star ratings here. In fact, we just put sugar in our tea. And I'm going to put 3 sugars. Too many backstage segments. Noam Dar match was fantastic. Good opening match. The women's match was really good as well. But I felt it was just too much in between.
What you said, 3 sugars.
There we go. It's rare that we agree. I mean, last week we were literally off by an entire sugar. That's been terrible. So next, it was Rev Pro Wrestling The Cockpit. You didn't get to watch this, did you, Dan? Of course, because you watched ICW this week.
I didn't do.
It opened with Adam Maxted versus Screwface. This was a solid, hard-hitting opener. This was great drop kicks from Maxted, Screwface is a really fantastic worker. He doesn't get enough credit. Veteran of the scene, and that's a really, really good opening match. Maxted came away with the victory. Next was the Queen Zoe coronation, which was booed because nobody likes Queen Zoe. I did. Hail Queen Zoe. But yeah, it was a really good sort of for an in-ring segment, which I absolutely hate. It was good. Halfpenny is just a heat magnet. Just the hairline alone makes him a heat magnet. But the same goes for Zoe with her shrill, shrieking voice. She's just absolutely brilliant. But Hyann came out to spoil the proceedings, and eventually she challenged Mariah May to a match, which was good because up until that point there had been no women's match on the card. So finally, we'll see it later on the show. A women's match was put in place. Dan Mcgee versus Dan Maloney was next. Maloney was dominant in victory here. Mcgee is another underrated talent. He's a fantastic worker. This was again a great match. Maloney did, as I say, come out on top, and it was quite clear he was going to come out on top. He is on a run at the moment. He says he then grabs the mic and literally says that there is no one on his level. Maxted then came out to challenge him. They almost come to blows, but Maloney escapes to the back. And of course, they will now be facing off against each other at the 9th anniversary show. More on that in a little while. Young Guns versus Destination Everywhere. This was incredible. Really, really, really incredible. I mean, just amazing young guys. I mean, it started off with basically, throughout most of the match, Ethan Allen gives OJMO, Michael Oku, a lesson in wrestling.
For those that may not know, would you like to explain who the teams are?
Yeah, I just realized that myself. So the Young Guns, Ethan Allen and Luke Jacobs, you might have seen them on Progress on the WWE Network. Destination Everywhere are Michael Oku and Conor Mills. Michael Oku is the current cruiserweight champion, and as I say, this was really good. But Ethan Allen, just such a great technical worker, and he gave Michael Oku a lesson in wrestling. Then it was Jacob's turn to come in and give Michael Oku another lesson in wrestling, but with bigger and harder shots because he's bigger and harder. Conor Mills made some absolutely fantastic hot tag comebacks. I love Conor Mills. He's just a superstar. Well, I think he's a superstar in the making. The way I saw this match, I'm going to be honest, is this was 3 amazing wrestlers and 1 fantastic sports entertainer.
Ooh.
Michael Oku, he's a showman. He has got charisma. He does have the crowd in his hands. He gets really emotional on the afterwards with a promo that he does. But he has the guys in the palm in his hands. But when it comes to out and out wrestlers, Ethan Allen, you don't get much better than Ethan Allen and Luke Jacobs, which is fantastic. As a tag team, they cut off the ring so well. Just an amazing young team. I can't wait to see him in action one day. Hopefully, you got to see him in action, so you're a lucky man. But great match. Can't say much more about this, which is just fantastic. So Young Guns, Destination Everywhere. As these are on Rev Pro on demand, RPW on demand. Go check it out. It's got a 2-week free trial right now, and it's well worth it. Doug Williams and Joel Redman, kind of like a wrestling exhibition match. As you can imagine, Doug Williams and Joel Redman are just amazing. Stuff that they can do. Both of these guys literally tie you in knots, whether you think wrestling is real or not. These guys could tie you in absolute knots.
They have a history of judo as well. Doug Williams was up to Olympic level in judo. And when we interviewed, how was that interview? How long ago was that?
it was quite a while ago since we actually did our interview with Joel Redman. Fantastic for coming on the show because it was when we were very, very small at the time, really just starting out. And Joel Redman agreed to come on our show, and he was just such a lovely guy.
He was, and he explained his background in judo as well.
He did. So this was just a good match. It's not exactly a great match. It's just a good match. Redman did get a little aggressive and a little dirty, but he wouldn't take advantage of an accidental low blow, and it eventually cost him the match. So Doug Williams defeated Joel Redman. Dream Team versus Lycos Gym. Robbie X and Dean Allmark as the Dream Team. They are legends of the British wrestling scene. Lycos Gym are Kid Lycos and Kid Lycos 2. And
love a bit of Kid Lycos and Kid Lycos 2.
Yeah, they're just absolutely amazing guys. And as you can imagine, just crazy good. Just shy of great though. So just shy of great. You had the I don't know why it was just shy of great. Dean Allmark, and of course, as I say, they picked up the win. So this is Great British Tag League. Dean Allmark, the Dream Team are on 6 points. Lycos Gym are on 3 points, and Destination Everywhere are also on 3 points. And things can get really complicated. And I'll tell you about that again when we talk about the anniversary show, because we'll need to talk about that. Shota Umino and RKJ then took on the Sunshine Machine. Sunshine Machine are everything that I love and hate about tag team wrestling. Chuck Mambo and TK Cooper. Again, they've been on the scene for quite some time. They used to be called Escape in the mid card. They could easily be superstars themselves. They're a fantastic, fun tag team. But they're everything I love and hate. Some fantastic double team moves. Some terrible tagging. Okay. You can't tag the foot. You can't put your hand down at the bottom of the rope and tag. You must have your hand on the rope and place your hand over the thing. I hate tag team wrestling. But I love tag team wrestling as well. But it's, as I say, just crazy good match. And Sunshine Machine came away with a victory. RKJ and Shota Umino came to blows afterwards, and they will be facing off at the anniversary. Right. Next up was live in Southampton. We had basically another exhibition match between Doug Williams and Brendan White. Brendan White is a big Welsh bear. Doug Williams is, of course, the master of everything, and picked up the win. It's a nice exhibition match to start the show. Sterling and Redman then took on Gale, and so Charlie Sterling and Joel Redman took on JJ Gale and Callum Newman. And again, fantastic. And you know what? Redman hit a blow. And they picked up the win.
Can't believe it.
Oh, it's true. Redman hit the low blow. It's true. Redman has turned to the dark side. He has joined with Charlie Sterling's new attitude. So we're going to get a much more new aggressive Charlie Sterling and Joel Redman. And I believe we had this match down as one of our matches.
I think we did, didn't we?
We did. And who did you go for again?
I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure you went with Newman and Gale, thinking that Sterling and Redman would end up coming to blows.
Memory is just so bad at these times. To admit that you're probably right.
Yes. Next up was Rob Elias versus Big Guns Joe. This was all about the fact that Big John Go needs to take this seriously because he took his eye off the ball. He was playing to the crowd too much, he drops the straps, he does the Kurt Angle, except for he did it like 4 times during the match, and the 4th time cost him. And Rob Elias came away with the win. And again, we had this one down
We
as
did.
one of our matches.
Yes, I remember this one.
Who did you go for?
I may have gone for Big Guns Joe.
You are correct. You did. And I went for Rob Elias. Oh, sorry. We're going to tell you about this once I've got through the matches. Chris Ridgeway versus Lee Hunter. Really, really good match. Chris Ridgeway came along with the victory in this one. The Legion, which is Screwface Ahmed and Lucian Phillips, defeated the Sunshine Machine. And we put this one up, and you were right this time.
I'm not happy to be right. I'd much rather Sunshine Machine have won.
I know you would have preferred the Sunshine Machine to have picked it up, but the Legion did pick this one up. Robbie X then defeated Mark Haskins. He was a replacement for Michael Oku. We couldn't have this one down for that reason. So, previously the scores were 4-1. When we do previews to cards, we tend to know which ones we're going to be able to watch and which ones we're going to be able to get results for. So we started a competition a couple of weeks ago of who would get the most right with picks. And
as you can tell by the smile on his face,
I have a 7-2 lead right now.
It's all right. I'm just letting you get comfortable.
Just letting me get comfortable, of course. Umino and Maxted defeated Maloney and Sean Jackson. This was a good tag match, not a great tag match. Giselle Shaw then defeated Hyan to retain her championship. This was a rematch from the Queen of the Ring. Go back to our previous episodes to hear more about that. And Giselle Shaw came out the victor on this occasion. Something I wasn't expecting. And despite the fact that I was there live for the first match, I thought this match was the better match.
Really?
I did. So there you go. Really, really good. Just fantastic. If I'm going to give my sugars for both shows, I would give live Not at the Cockpit 4 sugars. I would give live in Southampton 13 3 sugars.
Can you let all the lovely ladies and gentlemen and everyone in between know where they can watch these, please?
You can check both of those, in fact, and the previous shows, including the one we went to live in Huntington 2. You can go check us out, see if you can spot us in our Teen Tights t-shirts. I didn't, unfortunately, have my Teen Tights face mask at that time, no. So you'll see me wearing a different face mask. They didn't come in time. They've come now, though, and they look absolutely awesome. And I will be wearing them when I go to shows in the future. As I say, that is on Rev Pro On Demand, RPW On Demand. Just look up revpro.com. It's well worth the fee. You don't get just Rev Pro. There's AAW. There's more. There's OTT shows on there.
Bar wrestling
on there, Southside Wrestling on there, and
loads.
Just loads of wrestling on it. Go check it out. You get a 2-week free trial, so best time to go check it out now is when you can get 2 weeks free. You watched ICW Fight Club this week. I didn't.
I did, and it was good. Started off with Talon Jr. versus Kez Evans. Now, Kez Evans has only just been brought back into ICW. He had been suspended. He won this. It was a non-title match. He is the 0G champion. It was non-title. He won it with the Blood Clot Clutch, which I think is an absolutely great name for a submission. And yeah, it was a good, strong match where Kez Evans kicked the living crap out of Talon Jr. We then have Martin McAllister versus Zero. Zero is it's a new zombie type character. He's kind of like a Haitian zombie, except he's white and bald. It's an awful gimmick, I'll be honest with you. But he's a good wrestler. You can still see the wrestling coming through. And his finishing move was a sleeper. And that's what he won with. We then had Shakel Sham versus Levi. Now, you would have really enjoyed this. I know you're a big fan of the Shakel Sham. I know you're a big fan. He looks $1 million. He is big, he is strong, he moves around so beautifully, and he hits a spear. Oh, he hits a spear well. If you thought that spear that we discussed earlier on in the show was good, wait till you see this one. Bless him. Levi looked like he'd been broken in half. We then had Looking Sharp and Krieger versus the Cabinet. Now, the Cabinet are made of Charles Weiss and Ian Skinner.
We'll be talking about him later.
We will be talking about him later. We're not talking about him now, which is why I left that very pregnant pause. The Cabinet won in a nasty way with a double chair shot to Krieger's back of his head. It was vicious and brutal and very ICW. And then Looking Sharp threw a fit afterwards, which sounds about right. We then had a debut on ICW. Rio debuted on ICW, and she took on Angel Hayes and won with a neck breaker because Angel Hayes was interrupted by the She-Wolves after she interrupted the She-Wolves match the week before. So this is obviously building up. We then had a backstage with Rio telling the She-Wolves to stay out of her business, which is never a good idea. We know that's not going to work. And I'm guessing that's going to lead on to Rio and Angel Hayes taking on the She-Wolves. Ravy Davey then took on Daz Black. Eddie Castle of the Manifesto came out and interrupted and accidentally hit Ravy Davey, which means that Daz Black won after Ravy Davey spent pretty much the entire match attacking Daz's legs to stop him with his high-flying manoeuvres. And then he won with a roll-up. So it wasn't really necessary anyway. And then finally, our headline was Jason Reed versus Luke Cairo. Now, Jason Reed and Coach Tripp have had a referee in their pockets the last few matches. So we had a special referee. We had referee Tommy coming out. But it wasn't the Tommy they were expecting. It was BT Gunn, was the special surprise referee. BT Gunn, who, of course, had kidnapped Coach Tripp before. Surprise won this one. Luke Cairo won after an interruption from a referee. We also had a referee knock out another referee. We had so much weirdness in this main event, it was difficult to follow. But follow it I did, and it ended up with Coach Tripp being very angry with Jason Reed, grabbing him around the face and telling him the loss was on him. So could this be the end of Coach Tripp and Jason Reed? I'm sure we will find out, possibly next week on ICW.
Indeed, and you'll tell us more about that next week. It was Progress Chapter 117, Making Diamonds, and they did just that. Big Guns Joe kicked off the match against Kid Lycos 2. Big Guns Joe picked up the victory. It was just a nice little opener. Chris Ridgeway then took on one of his students, a young man by the name of Keenan, who looks... He's a good-looking bloke. I'm not gonna lie. He's got some star potential in him.
You're gonna sell a lot of 8x10s?
He is the Mumbai Menace. He is extremely good in the ring. What do you expect? He was trained by Chris Ridgeway, and this was just a really good technical match, which Ridgeway came away with the win after just basically punting Keenan in the head. Nick Riley then defeated LK Messinger. Really fun match. Both of these guys are really innovative in the moves that they do. So yeah, I like. You can really get into both of these guys. Man like Reese defeated Danny Black. I was surprised about that one. I thought Danny Black was going to get on a win streak. Unfortunately not. Man like Reese came away with the victory with a 450 splash. Two very young, gifted, athletic young lads, and I said that young twice there. They are young. We met Danny Black the other week. He's young, but yeah, so much promise in both of these guys. And man like the Reese comes down, rapping to the ring. He is the lyrical dragon, of course. Tonga defeated Ronnie Knox. Ronnie Knox making her re-debut for Progress. She competed at Progress Chapter 100 under a different name. It was Nio at the time. and she changed. She's now Ronnie Knox, and she had to take on Tonga, and Tonga's with Mercedes Blaze at the moment, and Mercedes Blaze helped Tonga pick up the victory there. I love the partnership. Ronnie Knox came off as tough. She's a little girl. She's very small, but she looks like she can. What's the old saying? It's not the size of the dog, but the fight in the dog, or whatever. But yeah,
dog in the fight.
yes, and she's got a lot of fight in her and a lot of thing. Harry Singh then defeated Spike Trevay.
What?
That was by disqualification because Spike Trevay just beat the pants off the young man. Really, just absolutely devastated him. Poor Harry Singh. Spike Trevay is vicious and good. Vicious. He was just. It was. Yeah. Spike Trevay. Come on. Stop ducking him, Cara Noir. Face him. You know you want to. We want that match, Spike Trevay versus Cara Noir. We really, really want that match. Dean Olmark then defeated Ethan Allen in just what you would call a technical, majestic match. You know, just beautiful wrestling. Dean Olmark came away with the victory. Charlie Sterling defeated Kid Lycos. Just both of these guys are amazing. Charlie Sterling is, for me, he's going to be the breakout star. Kid Lycos is a superstar already. This was just a great match. Lycos worked over Sterling's lead. Sterling worked over Kid Lycos' back. Kid Lycos 2 tried to interfere. Charlie Sterling is just a big guy with tree trunk legs. And he came away to win. Warren Banks defeated Luke Jacobs. Now that was a match. Wow, that was a match. It was Warren Banks and Luke Jacobs beat each other up a lot.
Warren Banks is quickly becoming my favorite indie wrestler.
Yeah, he is a superstar again in the making. I picked him as my natural progression winner back when they first came back, and the eventual winner was Luke Jacobs in the finals against Warren Banks. So I was halfway there, and Warren Banks this time he got his win back. But
what you're just explaining is that you were wrong.
Yeah, I was wrong. But one point, Luke Jacobs had a triangle on Warren Banks. Warren Banks makes it to the ropes, gets outside, he lifts him up, and he slams him down on the ring apron. But Luke Jacobs still just grabs the again, and then Warren Banks just lifts him up again and just slams him down on the podiums they have for the, like the title belt. Oh, it looked vicious. And then Jacobs just got back into the ring and he just got ran over by Warren Banks, who hit just a spear. Great match. Go watch that match. Next up was in the end, because at the beginning of the show, Kanji came out and relinquished the Progress Women's Championship.
Did she say why?
Because she has broken her arm once again. She had been out for quite some time with broken arm, and she's now going to be out a little bit longer. Yeah, we were completely wrong on this one, weren't we? Kanji is obviously not going to the WWE right now. Neither is somebody else we thought was going to the WWE, and we'll be talking about that just shortly. But overall, great show. I would give that. I'm going to put 4 sugars in my tea. How many sugars are you giving for ICW?
ICW gets a strong 3.5.
Super. Let's get to some news. Rev Pro 9th anniversary in Manchester next week. British heavyweight title match and a chance to face Will Ospreay, Ricky Knight versus Shota Umino. That is going to be just such a good match. Dan Maloney versus Adam Maxted. Giselle Shaw versus Zoe Lucas. Michael Oku versus Chris Ridgeway versus Robbie X for the Cruiserweight Championship. Aussie Open are back. They're taking on the Young Guns. And of course, the finals to the Great British Tag League. So it's the Legion versus either the Dream Team or Destination Everywhere. Or, well, it's not going to be Live Costume because they're booked elsewhere.
And I wouldn't have thought it's going to be Destination everywhere.
But you wouldn't have thought it'd be the dream team either, because either one of them will be pulling double duty.
Yeah. Beauty.
And it all comes down to which is the pop-up show tonight, Rev Pro UK, where Joe Lando is making his debut. An incredibly gifted high flyer, one of the most exciting high flyers in Europe right now.
Joe Lando. Are we going to be talking about him later as well?
We're going to be talking about him just a little bit later as well, a little bit more about him. And he really is incredible. We got to see him when we went to the Wrestle Carnival show. It was amazing. It was just fantastic. I can't really say too much about, much more than that. That Fatal 4-Way was just incredible. What was it? Maverick Mayhew, Callum Newman, Joe Lando, and Danny Black. And just a super match. But Joe Lando will be making his debut tonight in a pop-up show at the 229 in London. It's probably kicking off right now. In fact, it's probably coming to an end right now. But he's making in a scramble match where he's taking on Lee Hunter, Brendan White, JJ Gale, Chris Ridgeway, and Rob Elias. I mean, that's just going to be one hell of a match.
Amen to that.
You've also got, as I say, these great British tag team finals. So here's where it gets complicated. If Destination Everywhere beat the Dream Team, they will join them on 6 points. If Lycos Jim beat the Young Guns, they will also join them on 6 points. But the Dream Team beat Lycos Jim, but Lycos Jim beat Destination Everywhere, and as I say, if Destination Everywhere beats Dream Team, so therefore no one has the match advantage, if you like. So if that happens, well, as I say, I'll carry on with the rest of the card. Doug Williams versus Gideon Gray, that should be a great match. Shota Umino versus Callum Newman. Wow, good luck, Callum Newman. Team, 2 extremely athletic men, Sean Jackson and Kenneth Halfpenny. I love the name. How do you not love that? 2 extremely athletic men. Team. Sean Jackson, Kenneth Halfpenny.
It's be changed to 2 extremely arrogant male chauvinists. I don't mind. No.
Yes, and they are taking on Giselle Shaw and Hyan.
And they are going to get slapped to.
Although actually there was a change to this match. I believe Halfpenny is not cleared to compete. So it is Mariah May in her place. And then in the main event is TK Cooper versus RKJ. Unless there needs to be a tag league decider triple threat between Lycos Jim, Destination Everywhere, and the Dream Team.
Ooh, I wonder who'll step up.
It's confusing. I can tell you now, it won't be Lycos Jim, because I know for a fact Lycos Jim are booked elsewhere that day. So it won't be them. So it'll either be Destination Everywhere or the Dream Team. Who do you think it will be?
I think it'll be Destination Everywhere.
I think you're right. And then I think Conor Mills is going to turn on Michael Oku and join the Legion during that match. Also leaving him vulnerable for the triple threat later that day.
We live in hope we'll get a haircut for it.
Yeah, it'd be great. Do you want to should we do some predictions? I think we should do some predictions on those matches. I think we can.
Go on then.
Okay, Ricky Knight, Shota Umino. I'm going with Shota.
I'm going with Ricky Knight.
There we go. We got one on the board.
We then have Dan Maloney versus Adam Maxted. I'm afraid that I'm going to have to go with my head, not my heart, and say Dan Maloney.
I'm going to say Adam Maxted.
Ooh.
We got 2 on the board. No. What's the next one?
Giselle Shaw versus Zoe Lucas. Zoe Lucas by nefarious means.
I was going to go with Zoe Lucas and as well, so that will not be on the board.
Michael Oku versus Chris Ridgeway versus Robbie X.
Chris Ridgeway.
I'm going to go for Robbie X.
Ooh. Good one. Okay, next.
Aussie Open versus the Young Guns. Aussie Open.
No, it's in Manchester. You got to kind of go with Aussie Open, but in Manchester.
It may not be popular.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I'm going to go with Aussie Open as well. So that leaves the Legion versus who we think will be Destination Everywhere. I'm going to go with the Legion.
I am also going to go with the Legion.
There we go. Super. The show's literally happening right now. Joe Lando versus, the scramble. Joe Lando, Lee Hunter, Brendan White, JJ Gale, Chris Ridgeway, Rob Elias. Who you got?
Hold on a minute. I'm just seeing if it's already happened.
No, none of that.
I'm joking. With that one, I'm going to go with Chris Ridgeway.
So am I. Great British Tag Leads, Young Guns versus Lycos Jim. I'm saying Lycos Jim.
I'm saying Young Guns.
Oh, but if that, let's see if that happens. That means, okay, yeah, I see where you're going to go. So you're going with Guns.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with Jim. Doug Williams, Gideon Gray, Doug Williams.
Doug Williams.
Shota versus Callum Newman, Shota.
Callum Newman.
Interesting.
Because I feel that this can then build up to Callum Newman claiming he can go against his mentor.
Yeah, I can see it. Team versus Giselle Shaw and Hyan. Giselle Shaw and Hyan. If it happens, DK Cooper and RKJ. RKJ.
Okay. Although I doubt it'll happen.
Nice. That's well. But you said you doubt it'll happen, but you went for Young Guns. But anyway, New Japan. Young Lion Yoda Tsuji will be making his Rev Pro UK debut on September 4th in Sheffield. Speaking of Rev Pro in New Japan,
Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
He returned at NJPW Resurgence last night and declared himself fit. I think he's quite fit as well, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And he called himself the current New Japan Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. He said that Shingo is an interim champion and that he will not return to Japan until this is acknowledged. And as such, he is making New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong his new home, declaring war on the NJPW Dojo. Quite exciting, really. I think you've written an article about it, haven't you?
No, it was on the New Japan website. But I thought I skipped it and found this segment. Just what a promo! My God, he's come a long way in a short time. He looked fantastic, like $1 million.
Yes, he did.
He looked absolutely just the suit, the jewelry. It was all just working, and as I say, that promo was just excellent, and loved it when he called the AEW shut up about those AEW dweebs when the crowd started chanting AEW. I just thought it was absolutely brilliant and super. And afterwards, he actually went backstage and talked about Rev Pro, in particular, Doug Williams and Ricky Knight Jr. Because he's not happy with Doug Williams saying that Ricky Knight Jr. is the man to be champion. So Ospreay's a bit, and he's told Doug Williams that it's no longer where he has to go up and shake Doug Williams' hand. It is now the time where Doug Williams has to come and shake his hand.
It's quite interesting because Doug Williams, Doug Williams is going to have a show televised by Ring of Honor very soon. Could he also be on New Japan at the same time.
New Japan strong. Love that. Will Ospreay, Doug Williams. It's probably happened before. I'm sure it has. But not since Ospreay obviously became a heavyweight, because Doug Williams has been retired for a couple of years. Has only just made his way out of retirement. It was, as I say, this was absolutely brilliant. I just everything about this, the way he came into the ring.
And talking about brilliant and exciting and positive, we had some brilliant, exciting, positive news from one of our favourite promotions, Wrestle Carnival.
Indeed. Go for it.
Wrestle Carnival have joined IWTV, which means that you will be able to watch their first show, which T and Tights were at and thoroughly enjoyed from the front row.
We certainly did.
Wrestle Carnival are going to have all their shows on IWTV, which I believe is $9.99 a month to join, and that is an American-based company. So there are lots of international shows on there, American shows on there, just loads of wrestling for you to enjoy. And there is a very good article all about it on bodyslam.net.
Yeah, of course. And it is available this Wednesday.
Woohoo!
That is when it will first stream. And as I say, that's fantastic news for. Sorry, what's that?
It's not the only way you can get that Wrestle Carnival video on demand. You can get it for free if you buy tickets to their next show in September in Worksop.
Yeah, Carnival of Honor, which will feature on ROH week by week. Just a fantastic all around. Congratulations to Gary Ward, somebody who's been on our show again very early in our stages. It really helped to elevate us, legitimize us, and
get well soon, Gary.
Yes, because at the moment he has been. So get well soon, Gary, if you are listening. Take it easy. We know exactly how hard you work, but I don't know exactly how hard he's probably worked to get this with IWTV. I know he's a huge fan of IWTV because he just loves wrestling, does Gary? And it shows by the shows that he's put on and the shows that are coming up for Wrestle Carnival. Go check them out on Twitter and more. Just go check out, Google Wrestle Carnival. Anyway, go next.
Jamie Hayter has signed to AEW at the end of Dr. Britt Baker's match. Jamie Hayter came out dressed as a security guard and battered everyone. She's got a whole new look. How good is it to see AEW signing back Jamie Hayter as a full-time talent?
Fantastic. Do you think this is an answer to Blair Davenport obviously choosing to shine with NXT UK? We thought Jamie Hayter was on her way to NXT UK. That is literally what we thought. I did not expect her to turn up on AEW like that, and it's great to see her back. Actually, do you know her first match was actually against Britt Baker?
It was indeed.
She came out on the losing side of that, but she did win her second match when she teamed with Emi Sakura, and they defeated Riho and Shanna.
It's almost like you did some research on this.
I did. Hayter 26 trained at the Portsmouth School of Wrestling under the Rev Pro banner. She just has over 5 years of experience as a professional, making her debut in 2015. She's wrestled for all of the top promotions in the UK, including Rev Pro UK, where she is a 2-time Rev Pro Undisputed Women's Champion, and she did not lose the title on the second time. It was stripped from her because she signed with AEW, which surprised me. You thought maybe they would have had a better working relationship. And Pro Wrestling Eve, where she was a international championship holder. She also wrestled in Japan for Stardom, where she joined the Oedo Tai faction. She became a Goddess of Stardom tag team champion alongside former AEW performer Bea Priestley, now Blair Davenport and NXT UK. And you can check out my article on that for more details.
You got everything there by the inside leg measurement.
Yeah, pretty much. Just fantastic. We love seeing British talents all around the world, and that's just fantastic to see. It's amazing. We love Jamie Hayter. She's a hard hitter.
She's everything we like in a wrestler.
She was everything we like in a wrestler, and she is going to elevate the AEW's women's division.
Yeah.
At least a little bit. She's going to bring it up. She is.
Yeah.
The Pete Dunne NXT because apparently his contract is set to expire on the 31st of August or the 1st of September. And this is according to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter.
And he isn't big and he isn't muscly.
No, so.
But he's bigger and musclier than me, but that's not the point. Well,
yeah. What do you make of that?
I don't know what to make of that. I think he's been doing backstage work with NXT UK. So I can't imagine them not wanting to pick up his contract. But my guess is this is another example of WWE trying to save money and try and renegotiate contracts at different levels.
Yeah, I think you're right. And of course, this week on Wednesday night, he showed exactly why he shouldn't be let go.
He really did. This match against Ilya Dragunov, in my opinion, best match so far this year. It was fantastic. And it didn't rely on Pete Dunne doing the finger snaps. It was back to their match they had at Progress, the one at Wembley.
Mm-hmm.
It was on a level with that. It was absolutely brilliant. Please go out of your way to watch it. It's on the network. No excuse.
Is it on the network? I thought NXT's a week behind. When it'll be on the network next week?
By the time we come out, it'll be on the network.
Okay, there we go. By the time we're on YouTube anyway. But let's go check that out. I can't imagine why they wouldn't want to re-sign Pete Dunne. I mean, as you just say, he had just probably the match of the year against Ilya Dragunov. I'll go watch that myself as soon as I can. Just seems odd to me. It does. And as you say, he's not big. He is under 30, though. He's still only in his early 20s, I'm sure. Or at least mid-20s. I want to put him much older than that. And yes, he's one of the best workers in the world. And if they let him go to AEW, that would be one of the biggest mistakes.
AEW want him.
Again, why would you not want Pete Dunne?
I don't know. It's just I'm curious. He's 27.
The only thing that Dunne can maybe struggle with is some promo work. Although I saw the clip of him actually coming out to talk to Dragunov, challenge him to the match, and I thought that was excellent. Thought he did a really good job there. And that's his weakest part. And I suppose maybe he's a great wrestler, but maybe he just doesn't have the it, does he? Does he have the it?
He does between the ropes.
He certainly does, but having it between the ropes isn't having the it.
No, I get you.
Let us know. We're on Body Slam. Go down into those comments. Let us know. Does Pete Dunne have the it? Let us know. Our picks for next week. Cards of the week.
UPW Unbreakable on the 19th of August in Weymouth.
Why did we put that one on there?
Pardon?
Why did we put UPW on there?
Because we like UPW because they're nice people.
Indeed, aren't you going to this one?
No.
Didn't you say you were going to UPW?
No. I'm going to BW. Ultimate Wrestling.
UBW, not UPW.
No. I'd like to go to UPW because they've got Simon Miller versus Lance Cole. And that's going to be brilliant. So, yes, they have got a brilliant set of matches coming up, including Big Fem Weber versus Chantel Jordan, who we really like. The Brothers Orr, who we really like, versus SFP, versus JK Moody and a mystery partner for the vacant UPW Tag Team Championships. Joshua James is set to appear, as is Rob Elias. And a new UPW champion will be crowned at the Weymouth Pavilion. So that is on the 19th of August, this Thursday, in Weymouth.
Yeah, good fun. They're a family-friendly show. Lots of fun. Kind of got the holiday camp vibe to them, haven't they?
They have, and that is not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to sound like I was saying it was bad. No, it's good.
Some people think that the holiday camp thing is just a pantomime, and it's not. It really isn't.
It can be, but it's not always. And sometimes a pound of mine is fine. And you know what I mean? Certain levels I'm more acceptable of wrestling a certain way at certain levels.
Okay, so let's move then to British Wrestling Revolution.
Yeah, Underground 7. This is on the 20th of August in Grimsby. We'll be calling our matches for this one because we will be able to see this on the BWR On Demand channel. Fatal four-way for the BWR Cruiserweight Championship. Scotty Rock versus the Rat King 2-Bit versus the Prince of Pace, Callum Newman versus the new problem child of pro wrestling, Kid Like Us 2. I'm going to go with 2-Bit to retain.
I've got to go with Callum Newman because he's awesome.
He is just bloody awesome, isn't he? Absolutely fantastic. Nice guy as well. So you've gone for Newman. You've gone for Newman twice.
I have. I like him. He's nice.
He is. Reese Ryan and Man Like the Reese versus Wrecking Ball Reese and Big Hoss Rogan.
Known as Big Hoss Reese for the match, just for the hell of it, I think.
Yeah, just for the hell of it. Just Reese, and Reese. God, Reese, and Reese. Yeah, Jesus. How many Reeses do you need? Get Reese's Pieces to sponsor this match.
I'm going to go with Reese Ryan and Man Like the Reese.
I'm going to go Reese Ryan and Man Like the Reese as well. Will Cruz will be in action, as will Miles Kamen against Dara Diablo. I don't really know much about these guys. I'm going to go with Miles Kamen. I
don't know much about these guys, but I'm going to go for Dara Diablo just because neither of us know, so I'll go for the opposite.
Yeah, why not? Kamen. Gia Adams versus Jenny McQuilly. Gia Adams.
I'm going to go no. I'm going to go for Jenny because of nefarious means, because I think Jimmy will help Jenny.
The McWillie family. It's no chance. Gia Adams gonna squash her. Next up, Team Hench, Powerhouse Blake and Big Guns Joe versus Crash Boat, Jack Bandicoot and Jake Silver. I'm gonna have to go with my boys, Crash Boat.
Are we going to be talking about them later as well?
We're gonna be talking about them in just a little while.
I'm also going to go with Crash Boat.
Yeah. Matt Myers will have an open challenge, and that's Underground 7. So go check that out. I wonder if Will Cruz will answer the open challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. North Wrestling NCL 2.1. Everything is back where it belongs, which is Newcastle this Saturday. I will be there with my beautiful, beautiful fiance. We will be there. So keep an eye out for me in my tea and tights t-shirt and my tea and tights face masks. Not for sale yet. Let's say this is going to be a great show. Session Moth Martina is set to appear. Gotta love some Session Moth. Will Cruz versus Man Like the Reese. Will Cruz. Lycos Jim versus Crash Boat.
Lycos Jim.
Visage has got a lip sync battle.
I reckon this is going to be against Session Moth Martina. And I think you are going to be in for an absolute treat because I watched Visage wrestle at FNW the other day, and the personality that they have is fantastic.
Yeah, she's just fun, party loving people. Rio and Gia Adams versus Tunga and Lizzie Evo.
Ooh,
Evo.
It's a tough one. I think for me, it's going to be Tonga and Lizzie Evo.
I'm going to go with Tonga and Lizzie Evo as well. And finally, Gene Money will be in action. Rory Coyle is said to be there, as is Adam Shreddy Foster and HT Drake, as many of the North Kings. Okay, don't forget Fight for Honor Genesis, October 23rd in Chester at the Cheshire County Sports Club. Limited ticket availability as COVID restrictions will still be in place by the venue. Tickets will be available via Eventbrite. There are 6 incredible matches lined up. Chase Martini versus JJ Webb versus Dylan Roberts versus a mystery opponent. Alexis Falcon versus Chantel Jordan versus Harley Harris. Robbie X versus Nathan Cruz. Synergy, Ryan Bartram and Jack Roberts will be taking on Born Ready, Rick Marcus and RP Davies. Kat Von Cage versus Nadia Sapphire. Matt Myers versus Scotty Rock. And of course, all the action will be brought to you live by us.
We're going to do commentary, and we're going to do it well.
We are. Yes, we are the commentary team for Fight for Honor. We cannot wait for this. I mean, Robbie X, Nathan Cruz, are you kidding me? Chantel Jordan, Hardy Harris are just absolutely amazing young girls, just fantastic. They are going to kick ass. Alexis Falcon is amazing. Synergy and Born Ready, two young, hungry tag teams. Kat Von Cage, Nadia Sapphire for the battle out for the Queens of Wales. It's just, Queen of Wales should be an absolutely fantastic thing.
Indeed. I am so excited for this. I really am. We are going to do our absolute best to let you guys feel what it is like there at the show, and we will do our best to give that feeling to you.
Indeed, that is Fight for Honor Genesis, October 23rd in Chester, the Cheshire County Sports Club. Tickets are available via Eventbrite. We're going to be doing a special, and there's a special mainly if you especially don't know much about British wrestling. You should definitely check out this special that we're going to do, because we're going to hold a fantasy British wrestling draft where myself and Dan are going to create two rosters of amazing British wrestling talent. We're going to talk about each person as we pick them. We're going to describe what we're going to talk about, why we're picking them. So if you don't know much about British wrestling, this is going to be for you. This is going to be the ideal opportunity for you to learn who everyone is and who to look out for,
what they do and how they do it.
Exactly. And of course, don't forget the games that we have been playing, as we say, our picks, our ticks in the box when we do our previews, which currently I lead 7-2.
Also, coming up next week, we're going to have a giveaway, because while we were at Wrestle Carnival, we got to go and meet a lot of the wrestlers afterwards. And I got signatures from pretty much everybody that was there on the card. I will put that up on Twitter this week to show you. And we are going to ask a question for you to answer on Twitter. And we're going to give away this wonderful signed sheet with all the wrestlers, pretty much, who were at Wrestle Carnival.
That's fantastic, Dan. You are a gentleman for doing that. Yeah, we got the poster, the one of a kind print that you get as well was absolutely fantastic. I've got that, and I'm going to get those photos that we got with Danny Black, Callum Newman, Joe Lando, and Maverick Mayhew, and I'll get them sent to you with the mask. I'll get a copy sent for Stephen, who was there with us and is occasionally on the podcast, the Tribal Chief of the Big Fat Geeks.
And you just mentioned Joe Lando.
I did just mention Joe Lando, so it's time to just the big news. The amazing news is we literally have got an incredible week lined up. You know, we've just joined onto the Body Slam YouTube. We have just joined the Jonas Podcasting Network. We're part of the One Stop Podcast Network, and well, the way we thought to celebrate this was to get 3 interviews in 1 week, which we do have. Tomorrow evening, we will be talking to ICW's Ian Skinner, member of Thatcher's Cabinet. We will be, as I say, we'll be recording that on Monday. That will be out for release on Wednesday. Always a couple of days behind for the YouTube videos, but that'll be out. And then on Wednesday, we have
Crash Boat.
Indeed. Jack Bandicoot, Jake Silver, the Pop Punk Kid. And as I say, we'll be talking to them on Wednesday. We will be aiming to release that on the Friday. And again, as I say, always a couple of days late for the YouTube. And then finally, on Friday, we are going to be talking to Joe Lando about his recent debut for Rev Pro UK. 4 incredible, young, amazing talents, British wrestlers. These guys are up and comers. They will be future stars of the independent scene or NXT UK or off in America somewhere. I'm really looking forward to all of these because I'm a big fan of every single one of them.
It's just, I can't get around the fact that we are getting to do what we're getting to do with Tea and Tights podcast. The fact that we are managing to have interviews with these established wrestlers, the fact that we are having videos sent to us, the fact that we're doing commentary on a wrestling show. Thank you to all of our followers on Twitter. Thank you to everyone that listens to this podcast. Thank you to everyone that's watching us on YouTube. I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's just absolutely amazing. Again, people sending us messages every now and then, promoters. Oh, we heard your show, love what you said, really like the show. And, we're getting invited to shows left, right, and center at the moment. We can barely keep up with how many shows we're actually being invited to. And, it's something when we first set out, it was just going to be 3 guys talking about NXT UK drinking tea. But it's just really, really spurned on into a life of its absolute own. And that's down not the hard work, Dan, the hard work of myself, the hard work, guys, the hard work of our partners.
It's hard work keeping up with us at the best of times.
But yes, a lot of this comes down to, the partners. I mean, just the name of the show we own to your other half. Most of the editings, the logos are down to my other half, and so the help we get, the tribal chief at home taken out by Pretty Deadly once again after he said nasty things about them. He took him out once more, so we hope to have him back on the show again soon for you guys, because great, really good when we get all 3 of us on there, and it's such a crossover. We hope you enjoyed this first show. Until then, we've been 2 guys. We've been drinking tea. We hope you have a great night. And remember, folks, don't feed the trolls.